Hello, welcome to V News Broadcast Daily. I'm following today's highlights.
Party General Secretary Nguyễn Phú Trọng congratulates the new General Secretary of the Communist Party of China Central Committee, Xi Jinping. Prime Minister Nguyễn Tấn Dũng welcomes Professor Roger Neilson, a 2007 Nobel laureate for economics in Hanoi. Vietnam, Laos and Cambodia seek ways to combat drug crimes.
Party General Secretary Nguyễn Phú Trọng, on behalf of the Communist Party of Vietnam's Central Committee and in his own name, on November 15th, sent congratulations to new General Secretary of the Communist Party of China Central Committee, Xi Jinping. Mr. Trọng said he is pleased with the success of the 18th National Communist Party of China Congress, saying he believes that under the leadership of the CPC, led by the General Secretary, the fraternal Chinese people will successfully reach targets set by the Congress and continue harvesting great achievements in building socialism with Chinese characteristics. He went on to say that over the recent years, the Vietnam-China traditional friendship and comprehensive strategic partnership have unceasingly been consolidated and developed, bringing practical interest to the two peoples and contributing to peace, stability, cooperation and development in the region and the world at large. The Vietnamese side highly values Xi's important contributions to the development of the relations between the parties and countries. Mr. Trọng said, expressing a firm belief that in his position and responsibility, the Chinese leader will continue boosting the ties between the two parties, states and peoples to new heights. Moving to other news, Prime Minister Nguyễn Tấn Dũng hosted a reception in Hanoi on November 15th for Professor Roger Neilson, a 2007 Nobel laureate for economics.
The professor is in Vietnam as an invited speaker for the 4th ASEAN event, which is Dialogues Towards a Culture of Peace. Prime Minister Dũng said that Vietnam considers education and training one of national top policies to help the country develop in a rapid and sustainable manner in its industrialization, modernization and international integration. Therefore, the country wants to cooperate with advanced educational institutions in the world and always welcomes foreign scientists to visit, exchange experience and gives lectures in Vietnam, he stressed. Neilson highly valued Vietnam's sound policy on education training, affirming that he will try his best to foster educational cooperation between Vietnam and the U.S.
United States businesses pay attention to investment opportunities in Vietnam, in particular infrastructure development. U.S. Undersecretary for International Trade Francisco Sanchez told Prime Minister Nguyễn Tấn Dũng at their meeting in Hanoi on November 14.
Sanchez said representatives from U.S. leading infrastructure businesses are accompanying him on the visit with the hope to seek cooperation opportunities in Vietnam. Prime Minister Dũng affirmed that the Vietnamese government welcomes and creates favorable conditions for U.S. business to operate in Vietnam. He stressed that Vietnam hopes to work with the U.S. to lift bilateral ties and make the cooperation between the two countries deeper, broader and more effective to benefit people from both countries. The PM thanked the U.S. for its support of Vietnam in Trans-Pacific Partnership negotiations. He also asked the country to recognize Vietnam as a market economy, which will contribute to boosting practical economic and investment cooperation between the two countries. Sanchez affirmed that the U.S. Department of Commerce will continue to coordinate closely with relevant sectors and branches of both countries to effectively implement economic cooperation agreements signed by leaders of the two countries.
Hungarian Deputy Prime Minister, Minister of Public Administration and Justice Tibor Navracsics is paying a visit to Vietnam from November 14 to 16. His visit aims at boosting judicial cooperation between the two countries.
At a joint press briefing in Hanoi on November 15th, Vietnamese Minister of Justice Ha Hung Ngung and Navracsics said the two sides had held talks and shared experience in legislation and law enforcement. They reached a consensus on an agenda for amending the Judicial Cooperation Agreement in civil, family and criminal fields signed in 1985. The two ministers signed a judicial and legal cooperation agreement between the two ministries, under which they will share experience in perfecting the activities of judicial agencies and estate management. They also agreed to share experience in monitoring law enforcement and apply information technology in the management of administrative agencies.
The 12th Vietnam-Laos-Cambodia trilateral ministerial meeting on drug control cooperation took place in Hanoi on November 15th. Deputy Prime Minister Nguyễn Xuân Phúc attended the event.
At the opening ceremony, Deputy Prime Minister Phúc affirmed the Vietnamese government's determination to cooperate more closely with Cambodia and Laos, regional countries and the international community in fighting drug crimes, striving for the sound and sustainable development at each nation. He expressed his wish that measures put forth at the meeting will create new progress in the three countries' coordination in drug prevention and control in the coming time. Participants at the meeting voiced concerns about complicated developments of drug crime in the region, which is still dubbed as the second biggest provider of heroin in the world. They agreed to strengthen efforts in implementing the ASEAN Work Plan on combating illicit drug production, trafficking and use in the 2009-2015 period, and the roadmap to build a drug-free ASEAN by 2015. They also underlined the need to step up comprehensive cooperation among ASEAN member countries and actively participate in ASEAN's drug prevention cooperation mechanism. Earlier on the day, ministerial meetings between Vietnam and Laos and between Vietnam and Cambodia were also held. The heads of the Vietnamese, Cambodian and Lao delegations are scheduled to sign a cooperation agreement in this field on November 16.
City Vietnam and the Vietnam National Coal and Mineral Industries Holding Corporation VNA on November 14th signed a contract on the term loan of $300 million to finance the construction of the bauxite mining and alumina project in the Central Highlands province of Lâm Đồng.
The 13-year loan has been guaranteed by the Vietnamese Ministry of Finance and insured by the Japanese agency Nippon Export and Investment Insurance. Under the terms of the agreement, Citi is the sole Nexi coordinator and the joint lead arranger. This is the largest credit agreement ever for VNA. This financing will have a significant impact on the success and effectiveness of the Lam Dom Bauxite Aluminium Complex project, which is a key national development.
A seminar entitled Vietnam Trade and Industrial Partner in Southeast Asia took place in the French city of Lyon on November 13.
The event was jointly organised by the Vietnamese Embassy in France's Trade Office, the Rhône-Alpes Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and the Lyon Chamber of Commerce and Industry. France is a potential market for Vietnam's export staples, such as garment, leather, footwear, wooden furniture, aquatic and processing farm products. The two countries' businesses should make the most of trade agreements signed between the two countries and the upcoming free trade agreement with the European Union. French participants expressed their interest in the market, industrial development and Vietnam's policies to attract investment. They said Vietnam needs to tackle some obstacles, especially in infrastructure, to meet the demand for socio-economic development. A number of French businesses registered to visit Vietnam to seek trade cooperation next year.
Vietnam Him Lam Company and the Long Thanh Vien Tian Special Economic Zone has handed over the high school they built for the Lao province of Antapur.
Lao Party Secretary General and President Chomali Season was present at the handover ceremony on November 14. The school was built at a total cost of $700,000 on a site of 18,000 square meters. It has 8 classrooms completed with other facilities, such as teachers' rooms and greenery. Lao President Chomali Season thanked the Vietnamese party, government and people in general, and the businesses in particular, for not only their effective investment, but also their active involvement in social welfare in Laos.
And this is the end of our news today. Thanks for watching and goodbye for now.